Alright, well, let's take a look here at the new Taranis-E. First off, we got the Taranis X9D here. This is a tried and true standard pretty much after everyone evolved past the 9X for open source transmitters. And this thing did such a great job, it actually attracted a lot of people off of other brands, Spectrum, Tava, JR, kind of brought them over to the open source side because of this thing. Nice radio, does a lot of features, has voice and stuff, but I find it doesn't do too much more than my modified 9X does. And I'm a pincher, I'm not a thumber, so this is kind of unnatural in your lap. I've always been fidgeting around to try to find where it sits happy for me. So here comes the evolution of the E model. Let's keep this D up here so you can tell the size. First off, it comes in a nice aluminum case. I wouldn't say it's incredible. This definitely ain't no Pelican, but it's solid. It takes a dent. It's been in the Jeep for a while. Heck, even the sticker adhesive doesn't want to come off. I need to take something to that. But let's just pop it out here real quick. Side by side, you know, big compared to the Taranis-D. There's a big difference there in size, weight, double. Feel in your hand. If you didn't know nothing and you handed this to one guy and this to another guy, he would say this was twice an RC guy or somebody that didn't know too much or whatever. Most people would accept this as being twice the radio this is, just on feel. Not that the gimbals or there's any problems with any of this, but I just don't like the plasticky feel. It's just like my 9X. I'm not very excited about it. For guys that thumb, it's great in the hand, but that's not my thing. Let's get back to this thing and what comes in the box real quick. Along with it, you actually get a decent foam case. It fits in here nice. It just kind of pops in and out real nicely. The one bugger of it all is this strap. I don't know, I'm gonna probably have to cut into here more to give it some more room. This is the shoulder harness. We'll get into this more here in a minute, but this is what supports you while you're standing and flying. Instructions, they're always handy. It comes with a wall charger to charge things when you're at home, and it comes with an X6R receiver, diversity, telemetry, smart port. This thing's really cool. I'm looking forward to putting this in a fixed wing, and you know, having some extra telemetry data coming back to me. That's going to be a real sweet option. Now, let's take a look at the manual and see what FrSky claims as being the good here. Alright, now in the manual here, pretty basic, rudimentary. It's got the XJT module in it. It's which is the common standalone module, but this one also has a bay for a second module to go into it. When you do that, you can talk to two receivers under one model, and they essentially have a 32 channel remote. So for some guys that are in really huge scale airplanes, that'll come in handy, or robots. Robots is going to be, you know, you can do all kinds of cool stuff. And plus with the audible switches that you could add to it, everything, you could really do a lot with it. It says it has extremely low latency, a third of the rest of the industry or whatever. I don't know. High power, twice the range, yada yada yada. Manual for the X6R is also included. You know, just the basics to get you out flying. Now, let's just take a first look at this thing. First things that strike you about all this is where's the antennas? Well, the antennas are actually hidden up here. There's two of them. It's not diversity. It's two separate antennas. This one over here is 2.4, and this is a Bluetooth antenna. So I think this is something that's coming in the future with code. It'd be really awesome if I could build a control some of like those small little models that you buy that you can only operate from your cell phone. If I could talk to them via this, ooh, that'd be some cool stuff. Both sides are SMA, so if you have traditional free sky antennas, they won't work on here. I don't know what rating these are antennas. They're definitely not a, any sort of a dipole or anything like that. Not a quarter wavelength at least. I'm not sure what Bluetooth wavelength is, but 2.4. That's not quarter length. Feel in your hand. This thing is solid. Like you couldn't rip that handle off. Like you would have to really try. The wings, if you push down on them, you can get them to flex a little bit, but in this direction they're good. I don't know what that noise was there. Investigate that. Now on the bottom here, they have these buttons here, and it pushes these arms out, and that's what this big old tray style strap, get it all turned around here, hooks to. This clips onto here and here, and supposed to hold it up. Now I'm a smaller guy, so it kind of holds it down at an angle. If you had more of a belly or a bigger guy, I'm sure it would hold it up. But for me, it just doesn't. But I'm fine with that because I very rarely fly standing up. Normally I only launch standing up, and I can hold it like this just fine and fly. So I'm not worried about that. It's no big deal to me. I really like the fact that I could throw this thing down on my lap in the park and it just drops into my lap. I don't have to maneuver around it. I don't feel like it's just going to jump out of position during the flight or anything like that. It's comfortable to me. The one thing that myself and my good flying buddy pointed out is these steps really kind of suck. Like, they're unnatural. They're in a bad spot. So I'm probably going to add some foam or do something here to build this up. Maybe even 3D print something that just kind of sits on here and make this more of an even surface. This is some sort of aluminum covering with it. It almost feels like an etched. It's not even just a sticker cover. So they went far with the 70s look here. I don't know if they took apart a pinball machine or what to get this, but it's beautiful. Most things progress. This is a very progressive radio, but the look of this, guys, I think they could have done something a little bit different. Oh well. Now feel in your hand. I've loosened up these gimbals a whole bunch to get them down to where I like them. I like them where I could just barely feel the center. It gives it a silky smooth feel, especially with this transmitter. I really like it. I flipped over the plate internally that allows you to eliminate the detents in the throttle, and it allows smoother action. I enjoy that myself. The first row of switches are in a pretty good spot. The problem is there's so many of them, you're not going to be able to tell the difference if you fill all 5 holes in. The second row, you're not going to be able to reach at all, but I don't know. With this many switches, I don't know how you'd lay them out anyways. These potentiometers, they have detents in the center. They're really rough on the corners. I don't like that. And they're in a weird spot for me. Like, I don't know, I don't use my ring fingers to operate stuff. I kind of would have rather had them up here, but that's, oh well, personal preference. The sliders here, these things are cool. I'm probably gonna like put a pair of flaps on one, payload release on another, or something like that for a fixed wing. I'm not sure. Tuning, they'll come in handy for stuff like that. Overall, the radio, I really like the feel in the hand. Now, one thing that I like about it, let's go ahead and power it up here. Now it's OpenTX, so it'll talk to us.
Welcome to OpenTX. Engine off.
Alright. I like this wheel here. It's real simple to go through your modes by spinning it. Enter is down. No more going button happy to get anywhere. The trims are audible.
Trim center.
Which is kind of a cool feature. The RSSI value will be displayed here if I plug in something here that's flyable, or bound, I guess.
Low battery, low battery.
So initially it saw seeing a low battery right now. That's my RSSI level. One thing I don't like is I got this operation time branded on here. I don't care how long my radio's been on. If I did, I could find it in a menu. I would like to eliminate one or the other. I'm probably just missing that. These voltages, I'd like to change this to my flight voltage, or at least my main pack voltage. And this would be fine to stay as my radio voltage. Charging this thing, it takes 4 to 5 hours when I do go to charge it. I got it out of the box like this. I've recharged it a couple of times. It's always gone down to 2 bars. When I charge it, I only get it up to 4 bars. I see one more green, but I don't see a 5th green. That kind of bums me out that I'm not seeing that much into it. Now, I don't know if that's an issue with the battery or the calibration between the two or whatever else. But it's only a nickel metal battery. I'm going to look into maybe changing that out or doing something different depending on what the charging circuit in this will allow me to do, or heck, I may even just stay with the nickel metal. It seems to be lasting fine. I was out flying yesterday. I probably had it on at least 4 to 5 hours, and came back and it still had 3 bars of 2 yellow and a red. So battery life seems to be good. Overall, very happy with that. Fit feels really nice in your hands. It's comfortable. I enjoy the thing. I'm excited about playing it. I'm excited about using it. Let's go ahead and take a look inside here and see what we got. To turn it off, you got to hold it down so that wheel goes all the way around, and it's going to ask you, and go ahead and press enter. Now I'm going to grab the foam here out of the top of the box, and we'll use that to take it apart. Transmitter stick switches up. Alright, there's 4 screws that hold this together on the back. They probably could have stuck one more and made it a little more solid feel, especially when I got that little pop noise action thing going on. But overall, it's a great feel. Before we tear this thing completely apart, I need to go over with the ports with you on the top also. They may get into this thing real simple. The one thing I don't like though is not having easy access to a battery compartment, but then again, I may just come to love that. If I love the nickel metal battery, you never do anything with it, why would you need to access it? So who knows, judgment pending on that one there. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Now, before I pop this thing completely loose though, I want to show you on the roof of it here, there's these plugs. Get you the camera angle there we go. They pop up. The first one's USB, then DSC, then headphones, and your SD jack. This is a regular USB plug, mini USB. These both appear to be 1/8" jacks. I haven't plugged nothing into the DSC yet. And this is an SD card reader. It comes with a 1 GB SD card. I'm going to swap that out for something a little larger when I go start doing data logging. Here's your charge indicator light and the charge port for the included charger. The DSC plug is listed as being a trainer port, but I'm going to investigate further and see if I could possibly run my external module off of that. That'd be sweet if I could, because then I wouldn't have to do any sort of a bulkhead fitting or anything like that to be able to run my external UHF module. Let's go ahead and pop this bad boy open. See exactly what it looks like inside. Now, I'm not going to rip wires apart. I've already had it apart, so I know. Inside of this, this is the extruded aluminum plate that the arms pop up into. Some sort of steel arm here. It ends right down in the base of it, so I'm not sure how strong that'll be in the long run. But being that I don't fly and stand up much, I'm not really that concerned with that. It's plastic with a stick-on aluminum back cover. I'm not sure how that'll work out. Now, internally, this thing is beautiful. I'm not no electrical engineer, but nothing stands out at me that goes, oh, that's awful, that's terrible. This definitely looks like the price you paid for it, in my opinion. I'm very happy with my money spent. inside of here. Everything's nice little plugs, no solder joints. Everything clears real well. These seem to be a little close here, like the wires for maybe like lipping and catching there, but overall the thing's beautiful. I'm really happy with it. They give you lots of ports, and it's designed with little pieces so keep the switch from rotating in there, which is a nice little touch. The antennas are routed up through here with these little coaxes. Down here on this side is 2.4. That's the module, the XJT, excuse me, module goes here. This is the Bluetooth module, which I hope to learn more about here in the future. And in the center, these two pieces that stick up are for an external module. A typical JR style radio module will fit in here. There's 5 pins here that would go to your module, and I just have an empty Taranis-E one here, and it just pops right down onto there. And you could either come out the back of it with your SMA and drill through the back cover and have your SMA come out the back, or they provided you a spot up here in the corner and just take a pigtail and run it off of your transmitter up over to here. Then you could have an external antenna. Myself, I'm changing my setups around, so I'm no longer going to run my UHF module on my transmitter. I'm going to put it out back on the tripod. It works a lot better that way. So I'm going to have to come up with either a bulkhead fitting or do something to get the information back and forth from my UHF module to this. Hoping I could do it with this DSC plug, but I'm not sure. To flip the throttle over to get it like the way I prefer is I just take this plate here and I physically flip it over where this little piece protrudes to hold against the detents of the radio. I moved it over and put it on here. It's cool, it's nice that Free Sky did it like that, so it's real simple to swap between the two. I've always had to take this all apart and sand all of those off nice and smooth, give it a clean radius to allow it to do that. But I don't like the rough airplane feeling. I don't leave my throttle in one position and continue flying. I'm actively moving the throttle, and I don't like the roughness. It's a weird feeling to me. The battery, they don't give you a whole lot of room here. It's spaced nicely away from the boards. I could almost get my finger back under here. But there's not a whole lot of room to put any other battery. A 2-cell single place battery would probably fit in here nice, but then you're going to have to do something with charging it. I'm not sure if this charge circuit will deal with. This is a nice silicone wire, so it's not brittle like they used to have. That's really cool. Inside also this radio to go with the switches is all kinds of plugs, so you could plug all kinds of external stuff in there, configure it through OpenTX, and just get going with it. Overall, I'm very happy with this radio. It's flown it a good bit now, and it's smooth. I throw it down in my lap, it just sits there, it's ready to fly. Like I said, the first row switches for the ones that I've been using, I'm happy with. I just kind of flick these out of the way, that way they don't even bug me. Going through the menu is awesome here. You just scroll away. Downsides, things that I'm kind of not happy about. The 70s look, I'm not sure about that. You know what, I like the feel, I like the cool aluminum when you touch it. That's a very nice thing. The thing feels solid in your hand, it's great. The nice aluminum handle up here is nice, but it looks very cheesy, cheeseball. I just don't know. The dual antenna is cool. I wish I knew more what was going on with this antenna, but so far range has been great, so I'm just not worrying about it too much. The other, like I said, downsides is the step down here. I'm not excited about that. That's not very cool. And I wish that the ends off of, or they're on the bottom piece, off of here were a little more well braced. They did such a nice job with all of this, you know, but just to leave it right here at the corner, just stop plastic, that's kind of a bummer. So who knows? But overall, this thing's a winner in my book. I'm very happy with it. It's quite an exciting piece of equipment to be using, and looking forward to being able to start diving into a lot of the extra features that I could do with it, telemetry wise, and just with a lot of extra functionality I'm going to be able to start using on my airplanes, and that I wasn't doing before, just because running on a PPM based system, you could only do so much in terms of bandwidth. There's only so much control and resolution in there. There's a lot to be done here, let alone with mini quads. The whole rage now is latency. Guys are very upset about 80 seconds nowadays, so 80 milliseconds. So, you know, got to stay with all the rage, got to keep up with everything, as Bapu would say. We're going to go out and stay current with everything. Now, you guys go out and fly, have fun, enjoy yourselves, and look forward to seeing you in the air.